is ANN News Brief.
Health workers responding to an Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo have gone on strike over unpaid salaries. The World Health Organization, WHO, said on Monday this will hurt the country's ability to identify and treat Ebola patients. The Ebola epidemic in western DR Congo has spread steadily into remote villages across Equator province since the first case was identified on June 1st. At least 88 persons have been infected and 36 individuals have been killed by the virus. The WHO's Ebola Incident Manager, Maury Keita, said local laboratory technicians, case management teams and contact tracers blocked access to the Ebola testing laboratory in the city of Mbandaka, the provincial headquarters of on Saturday, in protest against the Health Ministry's recent publication of their pay salaries, which they say were too low, and the government's failure to pay them since the start of the epidemic. In June, Congo celebrated the end of a separate Ebola outbreak in the east of the country, the second worst on record, which killed more than 2,200 persons over 2 years. The virus strain responsible for the more recent outbreak in Equator is genetically distinct from the strain in the previous outbreak and is believed to have originated from an animal source. New information from Kenya says Kenyans seek less medical service during COVID-19 pandemic over safety considerations. There is increasing concern over a majority of Kenyans who are said to have decided against seeking medical attention in hospitals, even though their health status required them to do so. The Ministry of Health disclosed that hospitals have registered a decline in numbers, particularly that of patients requiring surgical services. The Ministry of Health says it is hugely concerned by a decline in number of patients seeking medical services at the various hospitals in an apparent reference to widely circulating fears that medical facilities may not be safe during this period of COVID-19 pandemic. Health Chief Administrative Secretary Dr. Mercy Wangagi has appealed to Kenyans to visit medical facilities despite the COVID-19 pandemic for their own good. The Health Chief Administrative Secretary also says all safety guidelines have been put in place to facilitate sound procedures that secure the safety of both the doctors and their patients. Kenya has reported more than 30,000 COVID-19 cases after cases shot up in new samples tested. The number of fatalities rose to 482 after more patients succumbed to the virus. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
Protesters took to the streets in Sudan on Monday to demonstrate over delay in constituting a democratic-led government in the country, with demands for quicker political reform. Protesters gathered outside cabinet headquarters in downtown Khartoum to voice their demands amid a heavy security presence. The Sudanese Professionals Association, SPA, which spearheaded anti-Bashir's protests and helped strike the deal with the military, said on Twitter that security forces violently dispersed protesters after they demanded to meet Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok and refused an envoy sent in his place. The same protesters saw to the end of former President Omar Al-Bashir last year. A power-sharing deal was agreed between the military and the civilian leaders who sworn to hold elections within 39 months. That is ANN News Brief at 10. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.